So at this point, you've probably heard of Pokemon Go. It's an augmented reality app that uses your phone's camera to basically bring Pokemon into real world locations. It's really cool and it's become incredibly viral over the last couple of days.
On the phone during Mass, finding Pokemon monsters in the church. This seems insane. And I admit I don't get it, I don't understand it, and I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Here's what I do know. Nintendo owns Pokemon, which was a stupid video game from a bunch of years ago. They came out with the Pokemon Go app a few weeks ago. It has become the fastest downloaded app in history.
And think about this. Since a serpent naturally cannot speak, then Satan brought that which was unnatural into the natural. Does this sound like augmented reality?
The beacons in Colombo are religious locations. So this one right now is the Vajrarama temple. So we'll just go there and we'll just have a pan around and we'll have a look and see. So we have the Vajrarama temple right now and it's a Pokestop. So I just collected a few items off of it. But yeah, a lot of these places in Colombo, a lot of religious places in Colombo have been tagged as Pokestops. So you'll find quite a lot of people staring at their phones, standing in front of temples and covils.
And by doing this, Satan allowed Eve to remove the barrier that separated humanity from the evil spirit world.
It's a free app, so you don't have to pay for it. Nintendo shares, however, have exploded. Nintendo stock is up like 40% just since the app has been released, given how many downloads there are of it. And Nintendo's trying to figure out how to make money off of it. They're going to probably have to put ads inside the Pokemon thing. As best I can figure out, this is how it works. You download the app. And when you have the app, you now have, with your phone, kind of like a virtual map, everything you see. I'm not sure, I think you use your camera mechanism on the phone, and you run around and you try to catch as many Pokemon monsters as possible.
And
We'll be heading out in a bit just to see what the scene in Colombo is like. So we're on Goa Road right now, but we'll be heading up Vajra Road just to have a look around. So if you like look at the app, you'll see that like we are on the road, but as we walk along, we'll stop at a few places that are of interest, and we'll also hopefully run into some Pokemon along the way. Alright, so we're on Vajra Road now. We'll be walking down. If you look at the app, you'll see that my avatar in the game is also walking down Vajra Road. So we are about to just stop by a Pokestop, which is like a beacon. And ironically,
Pokemon Go is working of miracles, even the cartoons, which go forth unto where? To whom? The kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of God Almighty. And the Guardian newspaper, Tuesday, July 12th, 2016, the headline reads, if Pokemon Go feels like a religion, guess what? It really is.
I know, I can't believe I'm discussing this. And the Pokemon monsters are all over the place. I'm looking at today's Wall Street Journal. Columnist named Joanna Stern. We're standing at a defining moment in the history of technology. Me, I'm standing in my pajamas at 10:30 p.m. in front of a townhouse with painted giraffes on its facade. I'm not alone either. 4 others came out for the same reason, to capture the two-headed ostrich-looking monster bouncing around on the sidewalk.
It says Pokemon owes much of its conception to creator Satoshi. But the mythology and the animist religious history of Japan also provided rich inspiration or explanation. Shintoism, Japan's oldest religion.
To understand how I ended up in a situation that once could have only been explained by psychedelic drugs, you need to know the events of the past week, how my life has become dominated by a classic video game designed for 10-year-olds.
Teaches that the world is inhabited by thousands of kami or gods. listen to this, when made offerings of food and incense, kami, the gods, bestow good luck in business, studies, and health. But when disrespected, the gods, they can turn vindictive. Listen to this. In many cases, the parallels are clear. Look at this. The water ground Pokemon bears a strong resemblance to Namazu, a catfish. Skip on down. The grass dark Pokemon is clearly a goblin, a demon, together with the slightly more sinister monsters, kami, the gods, demons, inhabit where trees, rivers, rocks, and other natural phenomenon, including thunder and lightning. Similarly, Pokemon also live in trees, rivers, rocks, and the sky. Watch this. In Pokemon Go, in the actual game now, when offered food and incense, Pokemon become your allies. So they're teaching from the video game Pokemon Go paganistic rituals. It's paganism.
And then it goes on to describe this. So I guess what happens is people who have the app place these monsters all over the place, and they're putting the monsters everywhere. And if you download the app, your goal is to try to catch more monsters than anyone else. It seems so unbelievably stupid. But apparently millions and millions of people are doing it, especially millennials. Now, the reason I want to get to the bottom of this is somewhere in this story, the world is telling us something. I have no idea what it is. We live in a world of complete narrowcasting. Nobody watches the same TV shows anymore. Nobody watches the same sporting events. People are on a zillion websites. They're watching all sorts of different things on YouTube. They're doing things all independent of one another. And then in the middle of this, here comes this Pokemon thing, and millions of people are doing it all at once, running around trying to catch a monster that isn't even real, but exists only in their phone. And it becomes an obsession for them. So here's my goal. If you understand this, if you know how this works, please explain it to us. I was going to say if you have a kid that's into it and obsessed with it, I'm willing to bet it's probably not just your kid, it's some of you. Now, I don't know how many people are going to admit it, but I've got a woman who writes for the Wall Street Journal writing about this. I've got a picture here from the New York Post of someone at the 911 memorial taking a photo of this purple monster that exists in her phone and, as far as she's concerned, in her real life. Apparently, if these are on one phone, they're on everybody's phone, so you're trying to catch more monsters. So here's what I'm going to do. And I don't know that I'm going to learn any more than I know right now.